Well, hello, this is Bishop Udell bringing you a World Missions article in Union Gospel Press written by Lyle P. Murphy. And I'm going to read to you what he has written. Some years ago, we sketched the life of Dr. Andrew P. Stewart of the Sudan Interior Mission. An outstanding man of God, Dr. Stewart was in active professional service and worked as a pharmacist with two shops. But early in life, he had felt the stirrings of missionary service. He read of the great need in the Sudan. In this forbidding region, 600 miles wide and stretching over 1,300 miles north to south, some 40 million people lived. Our earlier study of the doctor largely dealt with his tremendous medical work in Nigeria. He practiced and taught missionary medicine, including case studies of the vast number of deadly tropical diseases that afflicted the native population. His studies provided missionary medical personnel an invaluable reference source. Stewart was rather short and walked with a stiff kneed gait, compounded by heavy boots he wore for his 46 years on the field. He dressed in shirt, tie, and coat, and once was known to wear full length underwear. From his earliest days in the Sudan, he wore a large felt lined hat and carried a parasol. Stewart was an action filled personality. He walked great distances, often leaving younger missionaries panting for breath. His diet was designed for the most healthful value. Guinea corn porridge was a daily habit through all his years on the field. He often added spinach and carrots. In later years, he added 2 Spanish onions a day. He spent morning after morning on his knees in prayer. This routine began at 3:45 a.m. He rushed off to a prayer meeting with Africans at 8 o'clock a.m. His prayer was mainly for the Husan people, but he did not neglect prayer for special needs and for other missionaries. The mission reported that Stewart preached 20,000 messages to an estimated 1,500,000 people. Yet, he continued ministering physically to 300 each day. Dr. Stewart was a Hausa language scholar. He knew its grammar and intonation and spoke the language tongue fluently. In 1910, he was added to the Standing Literature Commission and later was one of the most faithful members of the Translation Committee. It must have been difficult to wait until November 1932 when the British and Foreign Bible Society sent the first shipment of Hausa Bibles. Percy wrote, quote, he held one copy lovingly in his hands, seeing a new day dawn for the furtherance of the gospel in Nigeria, unquote. In addition to his work on the Bible, Stewart produced a cross-reference volume and a chapter-by-chapter exposition. In the host of Christian schools throughout the land, Bible teaching was done in the Old Testament in the morning and the New Testament in the afternoon. Stewart was especially noted for his work in the market of the central city of Jos, Nigeria. He preached there every day, rain or shine, standing on a rock that elevated him above his listeners. He preached on sin and righteousness and judgment to come. Jesus was proclaimed as, quote, the resurrection and the life, unquote, John 11:25. On one occasion, a Muslim hurled a rock at the doctor. It took his helmet off, but he was uninjured. Other lost men went for the assailant. Quote, do not go after him. Come and speak to the Lord of life, unquote, cried Stewart. Dr. Stewart gave his life for the salvation of the souls in Africa. Who are you giving your life for? Because one day we all have to give a reckoning of our time on earth. And if we claim to be close to the Messiah or to God, the Creator, and we did very little, but we attended church, and that's it, did not go out, try to encourage others to enjoy the love we have for the Creator and the plan of salvation, I'm not sure how you are going to fare in front of the Creator. Well, we'll have some more things to share about the mission fields in the future. Until then, may God bless you really well and consider doing something for somebody else every day.